And so good afternoon. I apologize for cutting into the great conversations and network that is happening. But again, we are on a bit of a time schedule and a lot of great things to celebrate today. I'm Beth Ricker. I have the privilege of serving as the Associate Dean for the College of Aerospace. And again, I want to welcome you to this exciting luncheon. It's so great to be able to simply do things like this again in person. We missed our industry partners, especially FedEx, over the last 18 months. Real quick before I invite our guest speaker up, for those of you that don't fully understand our relationship with FedEx, not only is UND one of the 5 schools that are part of the Purple Runway program, we're also part of the Purple Runway Scholarship Program. And what we see among us today are 2 years worth of scholarship recipients. And these aren't small scholarships. FedEx invests $100,000 annually to 20 of our students to work on their CFI, their II, or their NEI rating. So real quick show of hands, I know we have most of those scholarship winners here with us today. How many of you either have your CFI or are working on your CFI right now because of the Purple Runway Scholarship Program? So round of applause for that. This kind of corporate partnership investing in our students and investing in our future pilot needs. So without further ado, I'm going to welcome up our keynote speaker, Captain Jimmy Sanford from FedEx. He's been at FedEx for 17 years. He's a captain in the MD-11. Before that, just like many of you, a traditional career path flight instructor, which I'm sure was a great experience. Learned a lot. Worked in corporate, regionals, and now has been at FedEx for 17 years. So Captain Sanford, if you want to come up.
The hustle. It's what gets you up in the morning. It's your constant pursuit of what's next. Growing your business, solving problems, making plans for the future. Always forward, always curious, never stopping. The hustle is a part of you. We see it in your passion, in your hunger to grow. We see it in that unmistakable fire in your eyes. When you crush your goals, make that sale, and win that client. We see it when you put food on the table, give back to your community, and use your business for something bigger than yourself. To you, anything less would be a compromise. At FedEx, we respect your hustle. Those same things that drive you, drive us. And we're right here beside you to help you deliver. FedEx, where now means next.
How's everybody doing today? Good. I want to try to project my voice instead of using the microphone. Is that okay? Can y'all hear me back there? Great. Well, thanks for having me. I've had a great time here so far, touring your campus. Seen a lot of neat things, especially the simulators, and I got a chance to see the air traffic control 360 view and a couple other things around here, which I think are really neat. Like I said, like Beth said, my name is Jimmy Sanford. I am an MD-11 captain at FedEx. I've been with the company for 17 years. I also work in our pilot recruitment. It's been a great ride for me. I've been very fortunate. I've worked hard getting through college, and I worked hard at the regionals, and I worked hard while I've been here at FedEx, and I've been afforded some opportunities, which I really do appreciate. But not so much about me. I'm here to talk to you about FedEx, why FedEx I think is an awesome company and a great place to work, and how FedEx takes care of their employees and how we take care of the company in return. Okay? Does anybody know who this is?
Oh yeah.
Young Fred Smith. Fred had a vision after Vietnam. He wanted to start a company, a hub and spoke cargo operation that moved cargo throughout the whole United States and probably the world with the way his vision was. But he started this company back in 1971. That's a long time ago. Started in Little Rock, Arkansas, and they had one airplane. They had a Falcon jet. The first sort was done on a card table, probably about just like this. They threw some packages down and they shipped them out. For the first probably couple of years, I think he was 27 million under. So what would anybody do at that point? I don't know what I would do, but he went to Vegas and won $27,000 at the blackjack table to float the bill for the company. True story. Without risk, there's no reward, right? Well, I think he took a great risk. Now the company's it's a $65 billion company now. Can you imagine what $65 billion looks at laid out? It's amazing. I think Fred's worth about $6 billion himself. That's pretty modest. All right, what's our brand? Who hasn't heard FedEx? I doubt that. I saw that.
Somebody had to raise.
That's right. All right, so everyone knows, they've seen FedEx. They see it around the world. It's recognized globally. It's on all our airplanes. It's on our FedEx ground trucks. It's on our philanthropies, St. Jude. It's on, what else is it on? Well, it's in our heads, right? So, does anybody ever ship anything? Okay, you ever FedEx it? No matter how it goes? It's like drinking a Coke in the South. In the South, we don't drink anything else. We just ask for a Coke and they bring us whatever soda they have. When you ship something, you FedEx it. It's a verb now. Okay? Who hasn't received a FedEx package or shipped one? I was hoping someone would say yes, because I was going to disprove them by saying, well, have you ever gotten a letter in the mail? We have a contract with USPS. We've had a contract with the Postal Service since when? Early 2000s. We renew it every 6 to 7 years. It's great bread and butter for us. Great job security, too. All right, so let's talk about what we move. Obviously, we move boxes and packages and envelopes and this and that. But what do you think FedEx really gives our customer? Anybody? We offer a promise. We promise you we're going to get you that package, whatever that package is. Having worked in the hub and being one of these guys right here, can tell you that this becomes very overwhelming at some point during the night. Our employees work hard, they're devoted, and they do a good job because our company takes care of them. Okay? Let's talk about some things that we moved. Talks about a sea turtle up here, a 320-pound sea turtle. Can you imagine the trust those people put in us to move a 320-pound sea turtle? I think we're getting ready to move a whale that I've heard. It's probably not a big whale. It's a whale. Let's see, what else do we move? Presents. We move medication. You guys heard of COVID? Do you know how much PPE we moved out of Asia last year, year and a half ago? I was on the overflight permitting department for that operation, and we worked 12 hours a day, 18 hours a day, 7 days a week, trying to get flights over to America, or excuse me, the United States and Canada to deliver not even vaccines, just masks, gloves, gowns, screens, whatever you could think of that falls under classification of PPE. Now, what else do we move? Let's see here. I'm going to give them a little cheat sheet. Well, I think one of the most important things we're moving now is obviously COVID vaccines. We took the first COVID vaccines out of, I think it was Wisconsin. I'm not really sure the state, but we moved that last summer. Took the first vaccines to hit Memphis and be distributed throughout the United States. That was us, right? We also deliver hope for children and for families who are sick. We ship tissue, whatever the Mayo Clinic needs for their patients, whatever St. Jude needs for their patients. Has anybody heard of St. Jude? Great hospital, right? Saves a lot of kids. I think before St. Jude, the survival rate for children was about 1% and 99% death, and now that's been reversed. Pretty amazing. All right, this just goes to show you that, oh, I forgot to mention this. What else do we ship? We ship pandas. Right? We got a 777 with a panda painted on the side of it. We've shipped 2 to the Memphis Zoo. I forget their names, but I live right across from the Memphis Zoo, so I can walk over there and go see those pandas if I want to. We deliver trees for troops. That's a philanthropy. FedEx Family House, we sponsor them. They're right across the street from Bonner in Memphis. There's another neat thing we do. Besides NASCAR, of course. Orbis. FedEx owns it used to be a DC-10. Now it's an ND-10. And this aircraft flies around the world with volunteer FedEx pilots, and offers eye care to third world countries. You can imagine what some of those countries go through with malnutrition, a lot of eye disease. So we go there, they park the airplane, they bring people up, and they deliver health care right there in the aircraft. That's volunteer. All right, let's talk about us, our global network here. 450,000 employees. That's a lot of people helping out with the efforts at FedEx. Serve over 220 countries, 17,000 monthly flights, 15 million daily shipments. It's a lot. Those numbers 2-3 years ago were 13 million during peak. Now we're at peak levels. Peak is December when everyone's shipping the Christmas presents. Okay? Now we're shipping those every day. Over 15 million. Can you imagine? I mean, you saw the boxes that slide before. Those things come down the slide and they're just stacking up as high as the ceiling. No joke. So we've got 10 global sort hubs. Y'all understand what a sort hub is? That's where all the packages go, that hub and spoke philosophy, right? You go there, fly in, get dropped off, they get sorted out, they get put back on airplanes, and they go back out. So over 650 airports, we have over 680 aircraft. That is our FedEx Express and our fleet operations combined. We fly FedEx Express. I fly the MD-11, I told you that already. We also fly the 777. We have Airbus 300 and 310s, 757, 767s. We retired the 727, say 4 or 5 years ago. That was I believe our initial workforce that really started moving packages back in the late 70s, early 80s. And we have 5,500 pilots. In fact, we have more than that. I think the last seniority list I saw was around 55, 60. And we're bringing in about 68 a month. Is that right, Cindy?
Yes.
And it is busy, busy. If you ever wanted to be a pilot, this is the best time to be a pilot. We have a lot of retirements coming up. Air travel has exploded, and we need people to come work for us. And good people. All right, so let's talk about the global hubs. Guangzhou, does anybody know where Guangzhou is without looking at the map? It's right there, It's just right outside of Hong Kong. So we have a Hong Kong base. Although our Hong Kong base is not being occupied right now because of everything that's going on with COVID. Okay? But we have Hong Kong domicile for our pilots. It's not mandatory. You don't have to go, but people want to go, which is great. They service the Guangzhou airport, and they do a lot of intra-Asia flying, up and down here, just your hub and spoke mentality. Anchorage, one of my favorite layovers. Oakland. I kind of thought that LA would be on here as a global hub, but maybe not. And actually, Oakland just opened up as a pilot base for us for 767s. Memphis, obviously. Remember how this company started on Little Rock? I think Little Rock's missing out. I think so. Yeah, Memphis has been very happy with FedEx presence. Indianapolis, Newark, Paris. Another one of my favorite papers. Pilot bases. Like I said, Hong Kong, not so much right now. We moved all our pilots over to the West Coast mainly. Anchorage, Oakland and LA, Memphis, Indianapolis, and Cologne. Cologne base is for 757s. Hong Kong is 76 right now. Anchorage is 777, MD-11. Oakland and Los Angeles. Oakland 76, LA is MD-11. Memphis is all fleets. Indianapolis is 76s, and Cologne is 75s right now. The Cologne base, kind of a pretty neat deal. We give our pilots a housing allowance to live within, I believe it's a 100-mile radius of Cologne. So you can imagine if you just want to live in Europe for 4 years, pretty neat opportunity to get a housing allowance and be paid the kind of salaries we're paid to fly, mainly out of Paris, because that's where our sort facility is. You go all different cities. Like I said, here's our fleets specific to the bases that we have. Does anybody know what an MD-10 is? Or doesn't know what an MD-10 is? Everybody does? Okay, I'll tell you anyway.
No, what is it?
Thank you. So, an MD-10, if you don't know, they developed the MD-11 back in the 80s. We started getting them back in 1995. So we had all these DC-10 aircraft. They had 3 pilots in them, captain, first officer, flight engineer, old technology, analog. We want to update these things. So they took out the cockpit of the MD-10 or the DC-10. They took the MD-11 cockpit and put it in there, and they called it an MD-10. They got rid of the flight engineer, and they updated the technology. Neat airplane. We still have a number of those. We have retired our MD-10-10s as of late, and we still are flying the MD-10-30s along with the MD-11s. All right, this is a good slide. There's a lot of different words in there, but all of them really do mean something. Some of the ones that stick out are right over here. And these are our values. Okay? Safety, integrity, leadership, professionalism, along with a bunch of other great phrases or words. Safety, what does safety mean to you? I know what it means to me. It means when I go to work, do I follow FAA guidelines, regulations? Absolutely. Right. Do I follow company procedures? Absolutely. And you're going to see some overlap in these, okay? What's integrity mean? Mom should have told you that years ago. It means that when I'm in the cockpit and it's just me and my first officer, that I'm doing everything correctly, doing the right thing when no one is looking. And that's what we do at FedEx. That's what I do when I go to work. Leadership. Leadership's huge. These are values that as someone who's in pilot hiring looks for in individuals. So I would say strive to put yourself in leadership positions, to make yourself, to meet those qualifications that we're looking for and professionally develop over time. And I'll steal this from my counterpart earlier, Tony. He talked about even step up to positions that you don't think you're qualified for. You'd be surprised what you're going to get. We like leaders. I'm sure you do too. Be a good leader. Professionalism kind of overlaps with all those, doesn't it? When I show up to work, I look the part, I dress professionally, act professionally. I treat all employees at my company with the same respect that I would treat anybody else. Having been someone who started at the bottom, I know those people work hard out on the ramp. They work real hard. They work harder than I do. So I'm definitely going to treat them with respect. They want a bottle of water when they get on the aircraft. If it's 110 on the ramp, they get one. We treat each other nice at work. That sounds basic. Okay, we could go on forever about this. FedEx's commitment to safety. We are governed by the FAA, but our company wants to go beyond that. FedEx doesn't have to do these things. They do them because they want to, and they want to keep our pilots safe. And really, that's what they're doing. They're keeping us safe because boxes don't have families. We do. So some of the things they do for us, and I'm going to shoot out some acronyms, and if I confuse y'all, just raise your hand and say, ask for clarification. One of the neat things we have on board our aircraft, some of them, not all of them, but especially the ones that go over the ocean, we have something called a fire suppression system. So if you can imagine, I'm taking off, and this is a true story, I'm taking off out of Hong Kong, going to Memphis on a 15-hour flight, and I'm getting ready to coast out over Japan. The winds, tailwinds are about 200 knots, which is really nice, right? So I'm doing about 495, got 200 on the tail, I'm doing 695 across the ground. I'm almost doing like 750 miles an hour, 800 miles an hour across the ground. I mean, I can't do the math right now. Public math isn't mine. But here I am going as fast as a speeding bullet over the ocean for 8 or 9 hours, and there's nothing in sight except water. If you take the globe and turn it a certain way, you can actually make all the land disappear and see nothing but water. So I'm out there in an airplane. I just took off out of China. I've got lithium-ion batteries on board, and hope to God I don't have any undeclared HAZs. What do I have in my back pocket? I got Midway right over here. It's about 1,000 miles. I got King Salmon right over here. That's another 1,000 miles. It's a long way to go if you're on fire. So the company put on a fire suppression system. This device will use the camera up here as something to reference. It can move up and down the fuselage of the aircraft and sense heat. And when it senses heat, it sends down a probe, punctures through one of our cans or our packages, and injects fire retardant. It's pretty awesome, right? If you're out over the ocean, the Pacific, it's really awesome. What else do we have? We have something called a heads-up display. I'm going to show you the next slide what that looks like. But this is a really neat device. We didn't have to do this, but FedEx wanted to. We've been working on this program for years. I don't know how long it's been. But I have one in the MD-11, the 777s have them, the 757s have them. And the Airbus is the only aircraft that doesn't have a HUD. But what a HUD is something that flips down in front of me, and it's about this big. Okay? And there's a projector behind me, just like that. And it projects all my flight information up on this little screen. And it kind of focuses out about into infinity, I don't know. And you can look through it. Really cool device. That way I don't have to look down at my instruments like you guys are learning how to look down here, right? Do your instrument ratings and IFR, whatever. I got it all right here. I don't even have to look down here anymore. Pretty cool. You can also use it to see infrared. So that allows us to have a lot better SA when approaching airports and low visibility. We also have excellent training. Our training department's amazing. We have 20 plus simulators. All of our instructors are top notch. Everyone wants to be there, and they just do a really good job. And what I like about FedEx is if you're struggling in training, I think everyone struggled at some point in their life, whether it's flight training or school. We have that ability to raise our hand and say, "Man, I need more help." And our flight training department is going to give you more help. All right, we're going to get everyone through. As long as you show up with a smile, a good attitude, and prepare. What else do we? Okay, what else do we do for safety? Make sure I'm not going over there. We have sleep rooms. We have 223 sleep rooms in our Memphis hub right now. Meaning when I fly into Memphis from LA and I land at 11 o'clock at night, I can go check into a little mini hotel room, get some sleep for about 3 or 4 hours. And then when the sort's complete, they wake me up, say, "Hey, Captain Sanford, you're ready to go." So I put my uniform on, I may shower up. I've got showers back there if I want to. It's pretty cool, right? Freshen up, brush my teeth, and I head out to the folder, meet my first officer, and we're out of there. And I've got anywhere between 2 to 4 hours of sleep, depending on how the sorts are running. And then someone cleans up the room for me. But I take my stuff out to help those people out because the people who take care of our area back there are just as important as anybody else. Here's the HUD. So this is what's in front of me. Airspeed, altitude, flight path vector, heading indications. I have my FMAs up there, flight initiation panel. So what is this over here? Anybody know? That's what the FO sees. We don't have one over there for him yet, but I imagine it's coming at some point. You see the ability? We had the ability to look through the clouds with infrared vision and see the runway. You see? Isn't that cool? All right, so what makes this unique? And I'm going to just kind of graze over these right now. I don't want to keep moving. But benefits, and what's important to you right now as a student, and it's an option to you, is, and I took advantage of this when I was in college, I was able to take the advantage of tuition reimbursement. FedEx paid for my, I forget which one it was, but one of my commercial ratings. It was my multi-engine commercial rating. Because I worked in the hub, and they gave me money to go do that. They also paid for some of my school. That's excellent. Most of our fleet's wide body. We do have the top pay rates. Even though you may see other airlines that have $20 or $30 more an hour flying that aircraft, there's a very small percentage of the people in that company flying that aircraft. Most of our pilots are flying that aircraft, and we have the ability to reach those earnings quicker and longer, which is huge. It's almost like a little trick. Work-life and balance. I'm able to, or everyone who comes to FedEx, not everyone, but most people that come to FedEx, we have so many different schedules and so many different opportunities. You can find something unique for you. You're not stuck to one schedule. Okay? There's something for everybody, whether you're a commuter or not. So we do fly fewer hours. That's just the way our schedule is. I was explaining to someone earlier, so when we take off from Memphis to Kansas City, it's only an hour flight, right? And we're done. Then we go to the hotel, sleep. About 13 hours later, we come back to work. If you are on a typical schedule like this, you fly back and it's an hour. It's 6 hours of pay for 2 hours of work. It's sugarcoating a little bit, don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna lie to you. We have longer layovers. I still miss my 65-hour weekend layovers in Hong Kong. I don't get to do those anymore. Great, lots of fun. You get to see the world. We talked about rest facilities in the hubs. This is a huge one. You can have up to 3 months off in paid months off in a year. Is there anybody else that does that in the airline industry? We do sleep studies for fatigue risk mitigation. We really do care about our employees, our pilots. All right, so everyone thinks we fly at night. We do, but we also fly during the day. Right? We have 50% international flights, 50% of our flights are domestic, 60 and 40 split. Okay, I've gotten to the point where I prefer to fly at night. That's just me. Some guys like to fly during the day. I like to wake up, go to work early, get done early. It's when I'm best. We fly around the clock 365 days a year. There's a FedEx airplane in the sky, nonstop. I don't want you to get the misunderstanding that we only fly at night. That's huge. That's huge for me to communicate to you. Because we do have a lot of day flying. This slide talks about how busy we are in Memphis. The busiest airport in the world in Memphis. And how do I know that? Because I live on final for line right over the outer marker, or under it. All right, so this is a typical schedule. Maybe not typical, but typical for some people. It's a mid-month, it's a calendar, pretty basic, right? So just to show you what your schedule might look like, you might start on Thursday at whatever time that is, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night or whatever, as long as it's in Zulu or local. I fly to the 15th, done. Now, remember that vacation I told you about? 3 months a year, senior year? We'll wipe out that trip with vacations paid, got the whole month off. What if my next month looked like similar to this, but it was down here? Then I would have a month and a half off, only eating into one vacation. And then what if I did 2 vacations in a 2-month period, or consecutively? Wipe out that trip. And then the next month looked like the previous one I just described to you. 2.5 months off paid, easy. That's a pretty good deal. We do have the best vacation in the industry, hands down. Here's another example of a schedule, week on, week off. You might enjoy flying this, having 1 week off at a time. Looks like a good commuter schedule to me. And if you're me, and you're actually flying the line, I like to be out with my family. So I go to work, and I do A and mountain packs, sometime every night. All right, this kind of goes into vacation hours paid with longevity. So I'm in my 19th or 18th year, I guess. That's right. I want to do math. It looks like you get about 175 hours of vacation time paid a year. It's really good. Start off pretty good too. Oh yeah, who are these guys? I like this slide. So we're purple. It's like Delta's green, American's reddish orange. It's like our pay, let's see, top pay rates. This is not overtime, okay, like overtime, but extra. This is our top pay rates. 1998, 2020. What happened here? Anybody remember? I'll give you a hint. There's 2000. You see how everyone's pay rates dropped off after September 11th? There was a little bit of time for them to drop off because they had to renegotiate their contracts. Look what ours did. It climbed. And it kept on climbing. And although it's below them right now, the people making that money right there are a very, very small percentage of their pilot group. Where the majority of our pilot group is making that. Does that make sense to y'all? If you want to be the 30 people at another airline making the top pay rates, go ahead. Or you can be the 4,500 other pilots, or 5,000 pilots. So this just goes back to what I was just speaking of before. We do, overall, our earnings are more than any of the other airlines, and our benefits are better. We have an A plan, a pension plan. Not many of those are around anymore, especially after September 11th. We have a B fund. Our medical benefits are so great, I don't even know what they are. All I do is go to the doctor, and it's taken care of. And that's for my family, too. All right, here's a video. Would you watch? Nate Eisenman is going to talk to you about the Purple Runway program. Thank you.
Good afternoon now. Nate Eisenman, FedEx Feeder Aircraft Operations. I've only been here once or twice before, but every time I come, it's getting bigger and cooler, so appreciate the time today. In an effort to make sure we get enough time to at least recognize scholarship recipients, I'll get through these next few slides pretty quickly. Just do want to please thank everybody for being in attendance. I know obviously the scholarship money is great, but just the awareness is really why we're here. If we don't get a chance to get through everything today, I really hope that you guys all have the opportunity to come downstairs and see us. We'll be in the atrium downstairs for the rest of the day. Also, we'll be in Clifford Hall 210 starting about 1:25 for a FedEx presentation, doing a little virtual presentation of our operation, which is different facets. So if you can come, please do. We'll get through the scholarships as well, and if you do have to run to class, please come down and meet us. I'd love to give you a few different parting gifts as well. So without further ado, feeder aircraft operations. So independent of everything we just talked about here, we do have another nearly 300 aircraft in our fleet owned and operated, or owned by FedEx, operated by 9 independent airlines. So I know a lot of passenger airlines, regional partners, same outfit here. We do have a few people here I'll recognize in just a minute. But our operation, similar to there. We have over 10,000 flights a month in our feeder aircraft operation. So 300 planes constantly moving. 90 domiciles. Every one of these dots here is a pilot or maintenance domicile, which means these planes are parked in those locations. It's not hub and spoke predominantly. Every opportunity there is either a pilot or a maintenance base, which means more opportunities to stay at home, like we talked about the livelihood, being able to be at home if you choose or be on the road if you choose. We do have the 3 aircraft types, 2 currently, third one at the end of this calendar year. We have our ATR operations, so 4272, which are being rejuvenated, refreshed, with our new freighter aircraft straight from Toulouse, starting 3 months ago. We just got our second one in, starting that once a month. And then our Cessna Sky Courier, bottom right picture there. It's a twin high-wing version of the Cessna Caravan. So it will eventually replace our Caravan operations. Over 12,500 pounds. We'll be single pilot operated, all Garmin G1000 suites, so newer technology. As you see, those are our current operations. White dots are our Cessna operations currently, purple are our ATR operations. Talking about Purple Runway operations, we do have the purple dots there. ATR falls under the Purple Runway. Currently, Empire Airlines, Mountain Air Cargo are our operators that support that. Similar to what we talked about with the stability, the growth, the pilot pay, the progressive timeline, FedEx is also one of the operators that never laid off any pilots and mechanics. Over the last, as you saw, last 2 years, we actually doubled our revenue operations here at FedEx. So not many airlines can say they literally doubled their fleet, or flight operations. So it's pretty incredible. Our Purple Runway program is just an opportunity for our pilots to be able to grow, progress their careers and move on to the jet. I know there's a lot of people interested in FedEx, and this is just a perfect opportunity. You're surrounded in a cargo environment as it is. Why not learn a little bit more about what FedEx has to offer? Program right now, again, through Empire Mountain Air Cargo, it gives our current ATR pilots an opportunity to grow, go through a jet transition course, go through all the normal screening that a normal FedEx pilot does, but prematurely. You get to network and really be associated with our FedEx crew members early on. After a minimum 3 years, 500 hours of PIC, you're eligible to interview and move on to the jet. Trying to make this quick. So eligibility requirements, we do have all these posted on our website, also downstairs, but as I just said, bachelor's degree, which you guys will all get here, Abbey Accredited University, so obviously restricted ATU will definitely help you expedite your ability to get to an operator sooner. And then successful completing of all the waypoints that we'll talk about downstairs. That's really all I have. Again, I didn't want to take up too much of your time. We're downstairs anyway, so please, we can do this. We're going to go through our scholarship awards really quick. But please, I hope you guys get a chance to meet and talk to us downstairs. Before we do our scholarships, can I just have everybody from the feeders stand up? All right. Back in the right, Josh Frazier, purple shirt, Empire Airlines. Black vest, Captain Josh Taylor. He's with Mountain Air Cargo. He's actually interviewing the FedEx just in a few weeks to move over. We got Adam Bishop. Adam is our OCC manager at Mountain Air Cargo. Steve Lasday. Steve works with me in FedEx. He's a senior safety specialist. He's a flight instructor, and he's obviously been part of this as well. Cindy Sarton, she's going to not stand up. She doesn't want to be that person. But Cindy is a huge part of this program. Cindy, you know, when you come to FedEx, you'll actually get to talk to her and see with her. She works in the pilot hiring group, so I mean, she's definitely somebody you want to keep in touch with. Who am I missing? Nobody else.
About Deb from GOC.
Where's she? Oh, she's hiding. Debbie, so Debbie McLean is the manager of our GOC, Global Operations Control. So she's pretty much responsible for every flight leaving around the globe here at FedEx. So pretty incredible. Mike's being naive, he doesn't want to stand up either. UAS, so he's in our strategic projects group, working the UAS group as well. So thank you everybody for being here, having us, and we'll move on real quick.
Brett Van Huysen, Chair of the Aviation Department, who is going to be reading the scholarship names. When he calls your name, please come up and receive your certificate and your fun FedEx swag. So, Brett.
Well, let's announce our recipients. We'll start with the 2020 recipients. Cody Anderson. Cody is not able to be here today. Oops. It's not advancing. There's something. There we go. All right, Cody Anderson, there he is. Cody's not able to be here today.
Congratulations, Cody.
He's our first recipient. Next recipient is Hannah Anderson. Hannah. Congratulations, Hannah.
Congratulations.
Our next recipient from 2020 is Arthur Bebenek. Arthur is also not able to join us today. Next recipient is Jack Couturier. Congratulations, Jack.
Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you.
Our next recipient from 2020 is Evan Dahlquist. Evan is not able to join us today. Ava Flaskamp is the next recipient who also is not here. And Brent Gibson is not here as well. The next 2020 recipient that should be in our audience is Mason Gord. Mason, come on up.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Our next recipient is Claire Grands. Claire?
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
The next recipient is not here today, but it would be Marcus Hodek. Next we have Sophia Jensen. Sophia. Our next recipient is Ryan Nipping, and Ryan is not able to join us. Oh, there he is. Sorry, Ryan. Okay, the next recipient is the one that's not able to be here today. Oh, he's here. Okay, well, Marshall's not here. Luke McKenzie. Congratulations, Luke. Our next recipient from 2020 is Cameron Nose.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Sam Olson is our next recipient.
Congratulations.
Logan Rainey is our next recipient.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Samantha Santos is the next recipient. Please come up. Carly Shukiar is our next recipient. Delonte Sykes is our next 2020 recipient. And it looks like Delonte is not here today. Joe Taylor is our next recipient. That concludes the group from 2020. Now we'll move on to the 2021 FedEx Scholarship recipients. First up, Isabel Adams. Isabel?
Oh, sorry.
There we go.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Our next recipient is Musharat Faiza Ashraf.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Sean Bates is the next recipient.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
Max Bourne is the next recipient.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Travis Collins. Jack Dugan. Jacqueline Emery.
Sorry, I'm twirling away.
Oh, no problem.
You're fine.
We should have gotten you towards the front.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Blake Iyer is the next recipient.
Congrats, Blake.
Ryan Fesenmeyer. Brock Graciani. Tatum Hertz. That looks like the plane I sold it in, Tatum.
Thank you.
Wow, that's better. Ryan Hess is the next recipient.
Congratulations.
Amanda Higginbottom. Jacob Coltis, and Jacob is not able to join us today. Luana Liang. James North. And it looks like James.
Oh, yeah, I had to go to class.
Did he? Okay, James is not here. Jared Runstein.
Congratulations.
Samantha Shire.
Congratulations.
John Smith. And our final recipient, Angela Werner. Congratulations to all of our 2020 and 2021 recipients. And thank you very much to FedEx for sponsoring this program. Thank you, FedEx.
Absolutely.
All right, well, that concludes the presentation. Everybody can get to class and get back to our meeting. Have a good afternoon.
Or get to the airport.